Well, this is something that hospitals don't like to talk about, how they set prices and charge patients. Hospitals often have a so-called master list that sets rates and fees.
But News 4 Investigates has learned that in many cases, that list really means nothing. News 4 has uncovered a dramatic example in a case involving a drug used to treat poisonous snake bites. But as Mike Colombo shows us in part 1 of his 2-part report, the real bite came with the bill.
The Corvette is one of the world's premier sports cars, and they're not cheap. A 2015 base model will cost you around $55,000. But this story isn't about cars. It's about something that comes in a little vial like this. Something so precious, a News 4 viewer was recently charged more than the price of that Corvette for just 6 vials. So, what is it?
All we need is a little plutonium.
No, it's not plutonium, and it's no laughing matter for John Wertel.
I reached in to get it. It was laying on top of the straps. It was about the same color, and it got me on the web of my hand.
In May, John had a painful encounter with this 20-inch copperhead snake.
When I felt it, I knew what had happened. I pulled back right away. By about 2 o'clock that afternoon, my arm was swelled up to my shoulder. My wife said, "You're going back to the hospital." Okay, if you insist.
John went to Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur, where doctors immediately treated him with the anti-venom drug Crofab. The meds did the trick, and John went home healthy. But when his hospital bill arrived, John was sick all over again. He was charged $56,548.80 for 6 vials of Crofab.
So you see that bill, and you see that number, and your first thought is what?
Somebody made a mistake. So I called the hospital, and no, that's what we charge for it.
That shock compounded by the fact John was between jobs and didn't have insurance.
I got to pay it out of pocket.
More than $56,000 for 6 small vials of medicine. We did some digging and found an even more surprising number. Crofab's British manufacturer tells us it sells the medicine for under $14,000. That means Mercy is charging John Wertel 4 times more than it paid. A massive markup John thinks everyone should know about.
Be prepared for the sticker shock. I don't know why they think that they have to charge that much for it.
So why is Mercy charging more than $56,000 for $14,000 worth of medicine? We asked the hospital that very question. The answer is eye-opening, and something anyone who might ever go to the hospital needs to hear. We'll have that story tonight on News 4 at 10. I'm Mike Colombo, News 4 Investigates.
News 4 Investigates is uncovering a confusing and troubling part of America's healthcare system.
Yeah, you could say it's the most painful part, the bill. One man's experience at a St. Louis County hospital demonstrates what some call the hidden healthcare tax. Mike Colombo explains in part 2 of this special News 4 Investigates report.
I had no idea a snake would climb up that 55-gallon drum.
In early May, John Wertel received a pair of painful surprises. The first came when he was bitten by this copperhead snake.
First thing out of the doctor's mouth is, well, did they give you any antivenom? I says, no.
Doctors at Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur treated John with 6 grams of the anti-venom drug Crofab. It wasn't long before John was back home and healthy. That's when the second painful surprise arrived.
When I got the bill from the hospital, the $56,000 for the antivenom. I said, that's got to be wrong. So I called the hospital, and no, that's what we charge for it.
Like John, we were surprised by the $56,000 charge. We contacted Mercy to ask how such a small amount of medication can cost so much. A spokesperson told us the high price was due to its short shelf life and shortages of the drug. But we did some digging. Our investigation led us here to Fleet Place in London, England, home of BTG, the manufacturer of Crofab. A BTG spokesperson tells us there is definitely no shortage of Crofab, so we are surprised a hospital has told you this. As for a short shelf life, BTG says the shelf life of Crofab is 36 months. And its cost? BTG let us know 6 vials would have been sold for under $14,000. So 6 vials sold for under $14,000, but billed at more than $56,000. Armed with that information from BTG, we again asked Mercy about the price difference. This time, we got a very different answer. Mercy says the real reason is the shortcomings of the U.S. healthcare system.
Well,
to help us understand that answer, we went to see Dave Dillon of the Missouri Hospital Association in Jefferson City.
We actually in healthcare call that the hidden healthcare tax.
In a candid interview, Dillon revealed an industry secret. Hospitals don't have set prices or fees.
Ultimately, it's in essence the sticker price on a car. It exists for, to be able to understand what the value is, but no one pays it.
The problem is this. American hospitals are required to treat most patients who come through their doors, whether they can pay or not. In 2013 alone, Missouri hospitals lost more than $1 billion in so-called charity care. To make up for those losses, paying patients are sometimes charged adjusted or inflated prices.
That's where this hidden healthcare tax exists, is we all pay for those who are uninsured.
What's wrong with this system, and what does it take to fix it?
The system isn't well designed. Having any individual, whether they're on Medicaid, Medicare, commercial insurance, or self-pay, have a different bill based upon one organization's ability to contract at a better rate doesn't make a lot of sense. How we solve that is to make sure that everybody has insurance of some kind so that we all share the risk for it.
John Wertel doesn't have insurance, which may explain why he's being charged an inflated price. If he had insurance, the hospital would likely charge the insurer's negotiated rate.
If they're going to do that for the insurance, they ought to do it for everybody. Because I know an insurance company isn't going to pay that price.
John complained, and Mercy did discount his bill, but he says the discount isn't much help.
They gave me a $22,000 discount, which leaves the bill still at $46,000, which is more than I make in a year.
Our investigation exposes a troubling aspect of the financial side of the American hospital industry. It's much bigger than one hospital and one snake bite. Dave Dillon says the only sure fix is for every American to have insurance, and that's not about to happen anytime soon. In the meantime, if you do have insurance, make sure you fully understand your coverage. If you aren't insured, take full advantage of the financial assistance offered by hospitals. I'm Mike Colombo, News 4 Investigates.
$56,000 for $14,000 worth of medicine. As we reported yesterday, that is the bill a Jefferson County man got from a St. Louis hospital. He wanted to know why he was being charged 4 times the cost of the drug. In part 3 of his special report, Mike Colombo explains how the healthcare system works with a trip to the grocery store.
Our journey into the confusing world of hospital costs begins with John Wertel.
When I felt it, I knew what had happened. I pulled back right away.
In May, John was bitten by this copperhead snake. Doctors at Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur gave him 6 1-gram vials of the antivenom drug Crofab. And then Mercy gave him the bill. $56,548.80. John called to complain.
The lady I talked to says she doesn't make up the prices.
To better understand that pricing, we contacted BTG, the British manufacturer of the drug. BTG tells us 6 vials of Crofab sells for under $14,000. So Mercy charged John Wertel more than $56,000 for $14,000 worth of medication.
We actually in healthcare call that the hidden healthcare tax.
Dave Dillon of the Missouri Hospital Association tells us hospitals lose billions of dollars providing charity care for patients who can't pay. To make up for that, hospitals may charge adjusted or inflated rates to other patients, especially patients like John Wertel who don't have insurance. Are you following along? The hospitals are telling us that if you don't have insurance but you do have some money, you could get hit with a highly inflated bill. Come in here with me and I'll show you how. It's like this. Suppose you're grocery shopping and you load up on what looks like about $100 worth of groceries.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'll have a couple pork steaks, please.
Okay, I'll get those for you.
It's now time to check out. The checker rings you up and the bill comes to $100. You think you're ready to go, but wait. First, you get some questions.
Do you have grocery insurance?
No.
Do you have a job?
Yes. That's when you're told, okay, no insurance, but you do have money.
We're going to charge you $400 for $100 worth of groceries.
Yep, paying $400 for something that cost $100. That is basically what happened to John Wortell.
Grab all you can and take more if you can get it.
You might be wondering what the drug would have cost if John did have insurance. We did some more digging and learned that in Missouri, the insurance reimbursement would likely be around $15,000 for 6 vials, which is just about what the hospital would have paid for it. At least that part of the story makes sense. I'm Mike Colombo, News 4.